Caitlin Clark is going to be the best player in the W by the end of the 2025 season. I'm saying it right here, and I'm saying it right now. She will be the best player in the W by the end of the season.
Hashtag Caitlin Clark has silenced her detractors once more. New video reveals the Indiana Fever star persevering through rigorous training sessions, demonstrating that her incredible rookie campaign was only the start. Clark has been practicing new maneuvers at the gym nearly every day. Stephanie White, the head coach, made one decision. Stunningly clear during a recent interview with People magazine, she stated that she is more hungry than ever and preparing to rule the WNBA like never before music, but it goes beyond simply enhancing her athletic skills. Clark talked about the mental toughness that propelled her to become a record-breaking force in the WNBA after overcoming childhood obstacles. Her story involves constant determination, and now she's getting ready to step up her game to a whole new level. This is Caitlin Clark like you've never seen her before.
Oh my God, dude. Caitlin has truly got in her back.
Imagine this today. Under Stephanie White's watchful eye, Clark enters the gym after a record-breaking rookie campaign, and everyone is buzzing with expectation for her astounding feats. Flash in our memories of breaking the three-point mark, leading the WNBA in assists, and creating an incredible 62 new league records. Yet something is clearly different. Is this the same Clark that we saw during the previous music season? If so, what is causing this evolution? In order to achieve total dominance, Clark has committed to strengthening her body, improving her shooting accuracy, and honing her devastating mid-range game throughout her summer training.
I know that you work really hard in the off-season. You said yesterday you're always trying to get better. Mm-hmm. What's the thing that you're working on in this off-season?
I think, honestly, besides the actual basketball skill part of it, I think getting stronger, that's what I'm focusing on. I'm in the weight room a lot, just building that strength. Obviously, it was hard going right from the college season to the professional season. You don't get to spend a lot of time in the weight room, so that's what I've tried to focus on the most here. And then obviously, a lot of things on the court. I'm always wanting to get better, and that's kind of what drives me, and I love it. I love getting to do it, and I feel very fortunate that it's my job.
Let's break it down. The extra muscle isn't just for show, it's a game changer. Strength and conditioning experts explain that this newfound power will enable Clark to finish through contact with more authority and absorb the WNBA's physicality, like a seasoned veteran. Let's face it, she's been taking a lot of hits on the court. Now, picture a version of Clark who can drive to the hoop, absorb contact, and finish through defenders without losing her rhythm. That's a terrifying prospect for the rest of the league. Caitlin Clark has been concentrating on honing her shooting mechanics so that her increased power translates into even better balance and shot stability. She is not simply improving her game, she is reinventing it. A Clark with increased accuracy is a nightmare for defenders everywhere, and her mid-range game is much more dangerous than a player who already shot 42% from the field the previous season. Clark has long been renowned for her long range and daring drives to the hoop, but now that she has added a fluid, reliable mid-range jumper to her repertoire, she is poised to become the ultimate triple threat, deadly from beyond the arc, practically unstoppable in the paint, and now an automatic scorer according to the mid-range head coach. Stephanie White recognizes Clark's potential and isn't afraid to say so. She calls Clark a high IQ player who has adapted to the professional game with ease, but White wants Clark to grow as a leader so that she can improve not only her own performance, but also that of everyone around her. What will these improvements mean for Clark once she takes the court? We're going to learn that her most recent training regimen is as relentless as ever, working on floaters powering through contact and endless repetition of her signature step-back jumper. Every drill and repetition offers a glimpse into the mind of a player who refuses to settle, but this transformation is about more than just physicality. It becomes even more intriguing when you realize that Clark is not only repairing her physique, but also her entire strategy for playing the game and her mind.
Now starting for the Iowa Hawkeyes, Katie Clark!
Let's go back to Clark's early years. Since there weren't many girls' basketball leagues when she was growing up, she decided to compete with the boys because it was the best way to play and get better. Little did she know that those games were shaping her into an unshakable competitor mentality. Caitlin was a young girl who dribbled past boys who questioned her abilities and weaved through defenders. Her father was the league's coach, and there was even talk of her winning MVP, but not everyone was on board. Some parents weren't thrilled about a girl possibly taking home that honor, and the pressure would have shaken most kids. But Clark used it as motivation.
What kind of impact have they had on your work ethic?
Yeah, my dad played sports in college. My mom played in high school, didn't play in college. Had a bunch of cousins that played in college sports, high school sports, whatever it was, so that's why I looked up to. I was one of the younger cousins, a big Italian family, so that's kind of just what you did. You followed each other around, you were each other's best friends. So I think that's where it comes from. Like I always had to find a way to kind of hold my own, whether it was older cousins, whether it was the boys I was playing with, whether I was playing up with the girls, whatever it was. So
how did she develop the unwavering confidence that characterizes her today? Then, it all began at home, where her parents encouraged a fearless mindset that led her all the way to the WNBA by never placing restrictions on her abilities based on her gender. They allowed her to compete, fail, and develop on her own terms.
I've dreamed of this moment since I was in second grade, and it's taken a lot of hard work, a lot of ups and downs, but just a belief in myself, and my parents always instilled confidence in me.
And this is where it becomes even more alluring. In a recent People magazine interview, Clark revealed a valuable piece of advice. When I have failed, I have been confident in myself. Think about that most people let failure shake their confidence. Clark, she lets it fuel her. Clark doesn't simply rely on her talent. She also has a secret weapon, her mentality.
I think that's what kind of drove me, and I failed a lot because people were older or people were better, and I couldn't stand that. And I think that's kind of what gave me that competitive passion and that fire.
Now that Clark is bringing the same battle-tested mindset to the WNBA, can she keep up the fire at the highest level? All the signs point to the fact that this is the same athlete who has dedicated her life to disproving others, and she has no intention of slowing down anytime soon.
I've loved playing basketball since I was a young girl, and that's not going to change. The biggest thing is just be myself and have fun. And if I do that, I think the rest is going to take care of itself.
However, the finest part comes next. Not only is Clark sharing this approach with the next generation, but she is also giving young athletes straightforward counsel that has significant weight since it comes from Clark.
Stephanie White is not taking a second away from getting in the lab and helping Caitlin Clark develop her game even more. Experience is the best teacher.
Clark's mindset has played a significant role in her ascent, but it is also influencing how she improves over the offseason. Stephanie White, the new head coach of the Indiana Fever, made it apparent that she is here to make the most of Clark's abilities, push the team to its maximum potential, and create a winning culture in Indiana. Can a new coach really change an entire franchise?
Our job then as coaches to continue to put them in positions to succeed, and our job as a franchise to put the pieces around them that will fill some of the gaps and fill some of the holes, and ultimately our goal is to win championships and to hang back.
White's coaching philosophy and Clark's natural instincts are a perfect match. What makes White stand out isn't just her XS and OS, it's how she connects with her players. Rather than just walking into the job and imposing a system, she sat down with Clark and asked a straightforward but impactful question. What do you want to improve, and where do you see your game going? That kind of leadership that values collaboration is the key to unlocking Clark's full potential. Playing quickly, allowing players to operate freely, and creating a system that allows stars to shine sounds familiar.
What's your approach when you're coaching greatness like that?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, just talking basketball, right? Just having general basketball conversations about what she's watching, what she likes, what are some of the things that what are some of her thoughts from, not just what the Indiana Fever have done, but from the game of basketball in general.
However, some skeptics continue to question whether White can strike a balance between Clark's development and the growth of the entire team. Her record indicates that the answer is unquestionably yes. Back in 2015, when she was first hired as WNBA head coach, White led the Fever to the finals, and with the Connecticut Sun, she transformed them from title contenders to title threats in just 2 seasons. White is here to win, not just to coach.
want our players to use their instincts and to play free. We want to make plays, not run plays, right? We want to have sets that give us certain spacing that we want, depending upon our rotations, who's on the floor, who we want to attack, what matchups we want to get to, how can we manipulate them. So we'll have certain play calls that just give us space to operate. And then whichever play we make, whichever pass we make determines, one of three actions that our players can read from. And so really giving them the freedom to play within a system.
When it comes to Clark, White sees the wider picture. She admits that Clark has adapted to the WNBA quickly, but now it's about leadership rather than just stats and highlight plays. White's objective isn't just to create a superstar. She's creating a player who will define the craze for years to come.
We know Stephanie White is a player's coach because she actually played the game. And not only did she actually play the game, she played for the exact same uniform Caitlin is playing for today with the exact same number. This, my friends, is going to be one hell of a 2025 season. Now, as for that MVP trophy, I don't know who do the damn voting, but I'm telling you right now, Caitlin probably finna win by a landslide. I see Caitlin averaging 25 to 30 points this season.